Good morning.
We have got tons of folks jumping on live. You guys drop something in the comment. Let us know who you are and where you're tuning in from.
Where you hail from?
Where do you hail from? Yes. Super excited. Super excited. It is Monday. Drop in the chat. Let us know. Is this your first Mindset Monday with us? Or are you a returning visitor? We can't see you. That's why we need you in the comments. Tell us who you are. So happy Monday. We are back in Mindset Monday. We're super. Hey, Denise from Cincinnati. Fantastic. Good to see you here.
Welcome.
Kayla, I'm so excited. Last week we talked about confidence. And I'm going to give you the floor in just a minute, but I love how this ties in. I kind of want to bridge what we talked about last week. Last week, we really talked about confidence and creating self-confidence and becoming unstoppable. And this week, we're going to kind of shift into something a little bit deeper, a more concept around peace amidst chaos, right? So why don't you give us the quote? And then I've got another comment, but I want you to read us the quote.
Sure, yeah. So our quote this week comes to us from Bolte Taylor. To experience peace does not mean that your life is always blissful. It means that you are capable of tapping into a blissful state of mind amidst the normal chaos of a hectic life.
It's so beautiful. So last week we talked about confidence and how it allows us to keep moving forward towards our goals. And I really feel like this piece is about it. The piece enables us to have the confidence to go forward without being overwhelmed. Like the piece is the part that keeps things manageable, maybe. I don't even know if that's right, but that's what I'm kind of thinking. And so this week, using this quote, let's talk about how we're going to cultivate this inner calm, especially when we have this crazy chaos, especially the challenges that we have as advocates. So peace amidst the storm. That's kind of where I'm like, I was thinking about this morning as I was drinking my coffee and filling out my daily planner, because every morning, that's what I do, is I fill out my daily planner, and I'm going to show it to you really quickly just so that you can kind of get a sense of what I'm talking about. So see, I kind of set up my day, and it's really just a way for me to review what's on the calendar for the day, the things that I need to get done. And then there's also a place on here where I focus about me. Like, what am I grateful for this morning? What exercise have I already done today? I log my exercise from yesterday into this morning, but it's really about me getting very centered and peaceful about the work I'm about to start doing today, right?
Or you start unpacking all that.
Right. To just big picture, get really focused and very peaceful about, okay, it's Monday, right? I'm starting with Mindset Monday, and then I'm moving through and feeling really secure in the plan. So I don't know, Kayla, what do you do to find peace amidst your chaos?
Truth be told, before I even get to that, I actually want to pick apart the last part of this quote. So Jill finishes out with, like, yes, we got to find our peace amidst the normal chaos of a hectic life. Amidst the normal chaos. So we've talked about this before, and a piece of maintaining a positive mindset that I feel is important is normalizing the chaos of life, and then furthermore expecting it. So what I found with talking with people is a lot of times people will be like, oh yeah, it's fine when I have this like day to day, but then when these things come up, that's when I get tripped up. Where I think it's more helpful if we kind of shift our perspective a little bit and have an expectation for these things to pop up, these stumbling blocks, these challenges to sort out. If there's an expectation that they're going to be part of our life, then they're not as disruptive when they do come up, because we already had in the back of our mind that it's going to happen. I've talked about this before. This is one thing my husband struggles with. This will be like, oh, it'd be fine if we didn't have that birthday, and then we had that dinner popped up, and then the thing with our friends. I'm like, yeah, but that's life.
Exactly, that's life.
If we have the expectation that those things are going to get shuffled in, we're already starting off in a better place. So that's my 2 cents on that for anybody who hasn't heard that piece of my perspective before. But man, I don't know about you, but so for those of you who don't know, I used to pick the quotes for Mindset Monday pretty much like the day before. And I would typically kind of draw on what was going on in my life and find something that, felt timely and resonated with me. And then a few weeks ago, we finally sat down and put some structure around it, because I was struggling with not wanting to kind of repeat the same topic too frequently. So due to that, now that we have a structure, I've been kind of filling in quotes ahead of time so that I'm not scrambling the night before. So I don't even remember when I picked out this quote, or even if I picked it or if you picked it. But
I don't even know. It's on the list. It's on for today. That's right.
But it's very timely. I could have picked this last night to be perfect for my struggles that I'm dealing with right now. For those of you who don't know, I have a 5-month-old and a 4-year-old, and lately my 4-year-old, who is typically my little rock, he's been digging in his heels against everything, even to the point where day before yesterday, there was something that it was his idea and I agreed with it. So then because I agreed with it, he wanted to go against it. Like, defiant for defiance sake, which has been a little bit of a challenge. And I have been needing to tap into and find my inner peace, because I'm certainly not finding it in the chaos that's surrounding me.
So true.
To answer your question from 4 minutes ago, one thing that I've been finding that's been helping me for anchoring that inner peace is mantras. So one thing that I have a hard time specifically with, I don't want to say managing, because you can't manage another person's behavior, but living with his behavior and, trying to get it in a positive direction. One thing that's been a challenge for me is my parenting style is very different from the way that I was raised. And probably a lot of people can relate to that. When I was raised, to act that way would not have been an option. There would have been physical punishment, and that's just not something that works for me with my parenting. However, when we get into these moments, that's what pops in my head. It's like, oh, just spank them, and I'm like, no, that's not the answer. So I've been going through mantras, and one that has helped me is I will not get angry, and I start the day with this: I will not get angry. I will not get angry. And I say it like probably, too many times, if somebody can hear the inside of my head. And when he starts getting in his feelings, I've just got to remind myself, I will not get angry. And it's been him and I and the baby for the past 3 days. My husband's been working. My husband's a nurse, so he works 12s and he's gone 14 hours, So it's just been the 3 of us, and his behavior's been a lot better. And I'm sure it's because I'm reflecting a lot more peacefulness and stability, that when he does get dysregulated, he's able to draw off of my calm. So gentle parenting does work. It's just really challenging.
True story. True story.
So yeah,
So I
that's been my big thing, the mantras.
Mantras are great. I had one a couple of weeks ago where I felt like my chaos was really around things that I didn't know at the time. And I was struggling because, those of us with type A, and if you know, if you know, right? Not knowing things, right? Not understanding things and feeling like I was in a learning mode was really challenging for me because I need to speed it up. Anyway, my mantra for that week to get through it was, I can learn. I can learn. And so I love these very short affirmative statements to remind us, I won't get angry, right? Like anything that reinforces the behavior that we want or the attitude that we want. Like I said, mine was, I can learn. So when I started to get frustrated because I didn't know how to do this thing, it's okay. I can learn. I have the capacity to learn. And I love that you highlighted the end of this quote because it is so true. Chaos isn't the one-off situation most of the time.
Yeah, chaos
Usually
isn't the
chaos is
exception. It's the
right.
norm.
That's it. Yes,
Yeah,
that's right. It is the norm. It is the norm. And if it's not the norm, good morning, Jules. Good to see you. And if it's not the norm, I want to know more about you. Like, seriously, I want to know, what are you doing? That's right. How do you do that? Because chaos is so the norm.
I know. It's actually one of my daydreams. Sometimes when I'm like just drowning in young parenting, I'll daydream about what it would be like for my mental health and my business if I could just go escape to the wilderness for 2 weeks undisturbed and like just sit in a cabin with really good Wi-Fi and get it all done.
Yes. So in full transparency, like this morning, even, right, guys, I'm filling out my day planner and I make it sound so beautiful, right? I get up and I have this coffee and I do, but what I'm not telling you is all of the things that are happening around me, like the dog barking, the garbage trucks going down the street, oh my gosh, if I don't start this now, I'm never going to get done before the end of the day. Like the chaos. That's the other thing I wanted to bring up, is that the chaos doesn't necessarily have to be external chaos. To be normal chaos. So for me this morning, you may have watched me sitting at my kitchen table, drinking my coffee, writing out my planner and thought, oh my gosh, how peaceful she is. And in my mind, it was not peaceful. There was a lot of chatter in my mind telling me that I didn't have time to sit and write this down. And I didn't have time to do this because I needed to be prepping for Monday and getting ready for this appeal that I'm filing for a client. And, oh yeah, that's right. I've got to send that email to the man that emailed me over the weekend so that I could get. So chaos, let's be real about chaos. Chaos is not always external. Sometimes it's internal.
And actually,
right?
I want to piggyback off of that. There's another, I know we've talked about this quote, I think it was a while ago, but your thoughts, your feelings become your thoughts. Your thoughts become your actions. Your actions become your habits, and your habits become your life.
Yes.
So,
yes.
The power.
Walk through that one more time. Yeah.
I think it's thoughts or feelings. I can't remember.
I think it is your feelings, but I won't swear to it. But it adds a really good layer to it, right? I know. We're gonna go with it because it adds a really nice layer to all of this.
Your feelings become your thoughts. Your thoughts become your actions. Your actions become your habits, and your habits become your life. And it comes from a mentor of mine, and I would quote it, but I'm pretty sure I just totally paraphrase it. But anyways, the idea is, I think in our society, we tend to really undervalue the amount of power that our mind and our individual perspective has on how we view the world. And this really, like I was sharing with, going through these trials, I guess, with my son, that's really been highlighted for me this week. The past several days when I've been very intentional about, again, maintaining my calmness and my peace, you know, those days were not as bad. His tantrums were much more manageable. And it wasn't that he was any different. He really wasn't. Objectively, his behavior, it started to kind of come back around, but it didn't start any better. It was my perspective, and what was going on in my mind was totally shifting my reality. And I found that to be true many times over. And, we, in this society, we don't, positive mindset and positive affirmations and this kind of stuff, it's not something anybody teaches us, at least not when I went to school. I know not when you went to school. I don't think.
No.
I don't think anybody was giving this any attention until, I feel like the last decade, maybe.
Maybe.
It's
recently. It feels very recently.
Yeah, knew about it, so it's not like it's news, but
right.
But right. The more that I found that I'm intentional with where I'm letting my thoughts go.
Yes.
The better my life is. And it's not that the external circumstances are getting easier, because I know I've shared this before. Every time that I broaden my capacity to handle and manage, I just add on another layer.
Right?
Like going to the gym. Once you can bench press 300, you go for 310.
Exactly.
So things aren't getting easier, but they are getting easier, and that's all,
right.
It's all in my head.
I love that, Kayla. So the second thing that I wrote in my notes is that mindset is a choice. And I think you just highlighted that, right? Yeah. Like I get to choose how I'm going to perceive things. And this is where, like this morning, as the chaos in my head, it's normally like that, just so you know, it's normally like that on Mondays because I haven't worked over the weekend and I'm jumping back in and I'm like, oh yeah, all these things in my mind. And as I'm sitting there, I get to choose, right? I get to choose, okay, is this chaos going to run my life today, or am I going to, manage through this? And, on good days, I'm able to say, no, I'm going to manage this. And that means that I'm going to sit here and I'm going to take this time to reflect and review on my day so that I can have a good perspective on the big picture and not get caught up in the minutia of what's happening, right? And that one email that now all of a sudden is so urgent and it overtakes everything for the day. No, what are my real priorities for today? When I go to bed tonight, what are the 2 things that I absolutely have to have done so that I can start tomorrow in a good place or be a step towards my goal? And it is a choice. And when we start to recognize, realize, and honor that our mindset is a choice, that's when things start to change. And like you said, it's not the external that actually changes, it's the internal mechanisms with which we use to get through life that are actually changing, right? Our attitudes, our thought processes. So yeah, I love that you brought that up. It is a choice.
It is a choice, and it's an active choice, and it's not a choice you make one time. Sometimes it's a choice you have to make every minute until you can really get out of that cycle. And it's a difficult choice, and it's not the default choice. I mean, the default, I think, we all started there, and it's based on, the way that evolutionarily the human body or the human brain was designed to protect us from danger and put us in that fight or flight mode. But we're not running away from saber-toothed tigers anymore. We've got challenging emails and toddlers to deal with. And the fight or flight is not helpful.
That's right. Yeah, it took me, so I sat for a half hour this morning with my planner, and it took all 30 of those minutes before I was able to finish what I was doing and get up and come in here to do this. Right? It wasn't until I started. This is the other thing. It's really interesting to me, the action, how the actions actually help reinforce the belief that that I'm gonna have this peace, and I'm gonna be peaceful about it, because I didn't find the peace until I actually finished that action and started the next action. So when I came in here and I started to start Mindset Monday, that's when I started to feel calm, because I was no longer the chaos in my head, the chatter slowed down, because now I'm focusing on this thing, which, by the way, the Jill Bolte Taylor, I'm just going to say this. She has an amazing TED Talk, and it's titled My Stroke of Insight. And one of the reasons, because I was doing some research trying to figure out, who this is and why she might have said this. She's very interesting, and she's done a lot of brain science research. And so this idea of being in the moment versus being in the past or the future is really a neat thing. Go watch that. I don't want to get too much into it. But so when I started to take the next action and came in here and opened up the studio and started the music and all of the things, I got really calm, because now I've moved into that first thing that I'm doing, and I can focus on it, right? And that's what the rest of my day will be like. I will be focusing in the moment on each thing that I'm doing, and kind of letting go of the chatter of the big picture. So I think action does play a big role. Like you said, it's an intentional choice, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
I
And
love that.
taking action, that's something that helps me to, sometimes I am getting a place where I say sometimes, a lot of times, I'll get into a place where my emotions are heightened, that fight or flight is triggered. And then we talk about, like, okay, I recognize I'm in this place. I don't want to be in this place. How do I get out of this place? That's one thing that's huge for me, is the physical movement. And I mean, it doesn't, especially if you compare it with being outside. Right. I do this all the time with my kid. And I talk about, I don't know how people raise babies in apartments, because we're here on 3 acres, and I'm like, that's it. Everybody outside, go sit in the grass, play in the mud. I'm going to turn on the water table, when the weather permits. And it just completely shifts everything. And I feel like I can breathe better. And there's so much science that supports this too. I mean, we're not going to dive into that today, but outside is good for you guys.
It is.
But being outside, moving my body so that because when you get into that fight or flight and you feel ramped up, there's like hormones and catecholamines and stuff that are going through your body, and they've got to get discharged somewhere. So when you can start moving your body, if you can't go outside and get out of your chair and drop down and do some push-ups. If that's too hard, sometimes I'll lean on my desk and do them. I'm not the most in shape person, but something to start moving your body and giving that stuff an outlet.
Yes. So that really kind of brings me to this third point that I was hoping to get to, which is serving from a place of peace, right? So this is about finding our own peace and operating from a place of peaceful mindset, right, amidst chaos. And I love this because we can't serve others from a place of peace if we haven't found a way to serve ourselves from a place of peace. And so taking care of ourselves, yet again, pops to the top, right? And what are we doing? Are we getting grounded outside in nature? Are we moving our bodies? Are we taking care of ourselves? Which is, like I said, so there's this whole thing of my morning starts with a piece of all of that, right? And it culminates. I get up, I go for a really good walk. I, listen to good stuff during my walk. I come back, I make my coffee, then I sit down and I spend some time finding my peace around my day as a whole. And then I get into the activity of the day. And it sets me up to come from a really good place. And as I get out of whack through the day, because again, chaos is normal and it's going to happen, just recentering becomes a lot easier when I start from that good place. So, what are the things that you do regularly to take care of yourself? right? I know, Kayla, you said before that, you've made a commitment to yourself. When the kids go to bed, there's no work for you. Like you finish your day for yourself after the kids go to bed. And so I think it's important that we all do some of those things, whatever that is, to stay grounded and peaceful with ourselves. So let's
That was
see. What
perfect.
else
I
do I
can't
have?
follow that up.
I love it. I love it. Well, listen, we are winding down. We had a great turnout today, you guys. I am so excited to see so many familiar names and faces. Well, I see your faces in my mind, even though I can't see them. But I see your names. I see that you're here. We're so glad that you came today. So, last week was about finding our confidence. This week, it's about finding our peace. So, I look forward, drop in the chats, tell us how you cultivate your own peace within yourself and within your days or weeks, or how do you do that? Like when things get wacky, what is the thing that you do that helps refocus yourself to stay peaceful so that you can, manage effectively? Kaylee, any thoughts, closing thoughts?
Um, no, you did a really good. Do you have like an outline today?
So I have my notes that I normally have, but I may have upped the game a little bit,
To say this
starting talking
felt
about.
more structured, and then I subsequently felt unprepared.
No, don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Part of what I've done is I've just gotten really, it's important to me that we pull things forward. And I'm like, if I don't do it, then why would I think it's going to happen? So that's kind of what I've done is I just added a little tweak to my AI prompt as I'm getting ready for my notes to include, hey, how does this connect with what we talked about last week? So that we can keep like building on that. So thanks for noticing.
Guys,
I
it's
did do a little bit
usually
of
a
extra
little
work
bit
this week.
more off the cuff, and there's a little bit
Yeah.
more back and forth. Nicole took all my talking points, so.
No. Okay. So you know why that normally happens? I love this because that normally happens because I turn it over to you to kick us off. So I apologize. I will turn it over to you to kick us off again next week. Because I like the back and forth. I feel
I
like
didn't
we
even
do.
make you
We have
spit
a lot
out
of
your
fun.
coffee
I know, right? That's kind of sad because normally you do.
at some point.
That's right. That's right. All right. Well, I'll be a little bit less structured next week. I was trying to be a little bit more structured, but maybe not. Maybe that doesn't work. You
We
in the
don't know
comments
until
tell
we
us.
try. Yeah, you gotta let us know.
Right, you tell us. What do you like? Do you like off the cuff more? Do you like a little bit more structure? What does he like? Was this good? Was this bad? Would you have even noticed any difference if we didn't tell you? That might be an interesting thing to do, right? Honest, I love it. Let's do an hour morning prayer on Mondays and Bible study that's around 15 minutes each morning. Ooh, girl, you wake up. So Jules wakes up before the children. So she gets up like at 5:15. So that's kudos to you. That is much earlier than I used to do that, but I don't do that anymore. Hey guys,
You don't have babies anymore.
this is true. This is true. This is true. In fact, my house is empty when I wake up. So yeah, there's that. I love it. Sarah exercises and started to turn off the music. You know what? So that's a whole nother conversation, Sarah. I turn music on to prep for being live on videos and doing conferences and trainings and that kind of thing. However, I'm with you, Sarah, on that one. When I need to be very, very present about what I'm doing in my own mind, turning off all distracting noises does tend to help me. So I
And I'll
like that.
piggyback on that and say if you do not leave some white space on your calendar, you are screwing yourself over. Because that normal
Oh my
chaos
gosh.
of life, you got to have somewhere to put it.
That's right. Oh my gosh, that's so true. That's so, so true. I love it. All right, guys. Well, this has been great. Lots of fun. Let's see. Next week, what are we talking about,
Next
Kayla?
week, we will be discussing perspective, empathy, compassion, and communication.
Sounds like a good week. You guys have a great week. And we'll see you back here next Monday to kick off a new week. I think next Monday is going to be the last Monday in the third quarter, if you can believe that.
I know.
So I know, right? So we'll be getting ready for fourth quarter. I love everybody. I'm so glad that you all were able to join us. And I look forward to hearing how you find your calm amidst your chaos. And drop it in the chat. Let us know. We'll be right back next Monday, same time, same place. See you later. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.